Human civilization has always known conflict. But it wasn't until the 20th century that the scope magnified to such a bloody scale as to engulf the entire world. In the aftermath of the war to end all wars, Adolf Hitler and his Nazi party fanned the flames of a broken and dispirited nation, rebuilding the country from the ashes of the Versailles Treaty into a fascist juggernaut that seemed unstoppable. They pushed all the way to the Atlantic in their blitzkrieg, with England their next target. But Winston Churchill and his small island nation won the Battle of Britain, holding out through Hitler's terror bombing for an entire year. They stoked the fires of freedom long enough to stay alive and to save the world. After Pearl Harbor, the United States, with all its military and industrial muscle, entered the war. First Africa, then Italy, and then finally Fortress Europe itself. You, soldier, are a part of this great crusade. Are you ready to rise above and beyond the call of duty?
Ihre Papiere, bitte. Your papers, please. Verzeihung, aber Sie haben Ihre Granate vergessen. Excuse me, but you forgot your grenade. Der Amerikaner hat Hundekuchen in der Tasche. The American has dog biscuits in his pocket. Rennt euer Leben. Er hat eine Panzerfaust. Run for your lives. He has a bazooka.
Electronic Arts and DreamWorks Interactive present Medal of Honor. Prepare for your finest hour. Come on in, Lieutenant. Good morning, Lieutenant. I'm Colonel Hargrove from the Office of Strategic Services. I'll get right to the point. The OSS was formed 2 years ago by presidential order to serve as the intelligence branch of the United States military. Our mission is anything and everything. Espionage, sabotage, subversion, search and rescue, you name it, we do it. Now, from time to time, we recruit people from outside of the regular ranks, especially if they've got a particular skill we need. Like you, Lieutenant Patterson. What you did last Monday got our attention. I know you consider yourself just another anonymous pilot in the Transport Corps, but taking out a half a dozen of the Wehrmacht and then sneaking back into friendly territory is quite an impressive feat of soldiering by anyone's measure. I had your records from basic and OCS pulled. Your instructors gave you high marks for weapons and munitions training. You were the top marksman in your class, excellent leadership skills, noted for being especially smart and resourceful. I also had your university transcript pulled. You were just 1 semester away from getting your aerospace engineering degree before you enlisted. You had earned straight A's from start to finish. In short, Lieutenant, you're just the kind of man we're looking for. But it's completely up to you whether you want to join us or not. Unfortunately, there's not much time to make a decision, so if the answer is yes, He'll be on a plane within the hour heading back to France. If it's no, you'll be ordered to forget we ever had this conversation. So, Lieutenant Patterson, what will it be?
Find the downed plane. The 12th of June 1944. Bonjour. My name is Manon. Colonel Hargrove tells me that you've decided to join the OSS. Welcome to the fight. I'll be your liaison with the French resistance. We call ourselves the Maquis. Time is of the essence, so press the X button to turn the page and start the briefing. Your first mission begins immediately. An Allied G3 operations officer was shot down last night. He and his pilot were returning from a secret rendezvous with my Maquis comrades when their plane was hit. The G3 has vast knowledge not only of Allied battle plans, but of the resistance as well. The whole French underground in this region is at stake. We found the pilot this morning, but there's been no sign of the G3. The Wehrmacht search parties are out in force, so at least they haven't found him, yet. Start by locating the downed plane and see where the trail leads. The pilot's logbook is also missing, so be on the lookout for it as well. Hint: to gain control of a German machine gun, press the action button. Good luck.
Feindliche Spezialeinheit! me! Achtung, Ami!
Search the town, the 12th of June 1944, Trapian, Patterson. Those hedgerows were crawling with Germans. I'm glad to see you made it through all in one piece. The G3's trail has brought you to my home village of Duboisen. The G3 knew that there was an active Mackie cell here, so I hope he's safe in their hideout. Unfortunately, there is a more pressing problem, the Gestapo. Set up as the Nazi Party's secret police, the Gestapo is filled with miscreants and wanton criminals who lack the discipline of professional soldiers. Gestapo members are ransacking homes and shops, brutally driving out the civilians who live and work there. These are people who have supported the resistance throughout the war. Please, you must do something to help them. If you eliminate some of the officers and destroy their ability to communicate with headquarters, I'm confident these thugs will scurry away like rats. Your objective are, neutralize at least 8 of the Gestapo officers. Destroy the unit's radio. Find the Mackie hideout.
Unter den Amis gibt schon keine Echtjahre mehr. Achtung, Ami! Feindliche Spezialeinheit! Ich befehle Ihnen, die Waffe hier! Ami! Was geht nicht Englisch? Achtung, Ami! Unter den Amis gibt es keine Echtjahre mehr. Hallo! Du bedienst mich!
Sewer chase, the 12th of June 1944. Based on the report from the rescued pilot, we knew the G3's injuries from the crash were bad, but I just got word from a contact still hiding in the town that his wounds are much worse than we thought. Unfortunately, your job as an OSS agent doesn't lend itself to much sentimentality. If you discover that the G3 hasn't survived through the night, don't linger, grab his attaché case and run. With the sun coming up, there's no way you can risk going topside. Your only hope is to escape through the old sewer system under the town, the same network of medieval tunnels that the Maquis have been using since the early days of the war. Search parties are closing in with full force. To survive, you're going to need something to help even the odds. Thankfully, the Maquis have been stockpiling the Allied weapons that were smuggled in before the invasion. My contact says you can find a large cache of ammunition hidden behind a fake sewer grate, located at the northwest corner of the second big tunnel. Grab everything inside. Good luck, Patterson.
Granate!
This operation is being planned as a success. We cannot afford to fail. With that declaration, the tone for D-Day was set. Allied troops were towed across the channel, seated inside gliders, whose pilots had only one chance for a successful landing. Thousands more traveled to France aboard Higgins boats, amphibious landing craft that were the key to the Allied triumph on D-Day. But the fight for Europe was just beginning, and not everything was going according to plan.